Let's see here. All right, greetings and welcome to the Table in the Tavern. I am your host, Leon Jenkins. This is Leon Jenkins One Gaming. Welcome, but tonight, instead of playing Skyrim like I have been lately, we're going to be playing a little bit of D&D, but because we're playing D&D, I brought along some friends. We're going to go around the virtual table and introduce our friends now. Let me go ahead and start off with right below me there, Jessica. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the character you're going to be playing tonight?
Well, my name is Jessica, and I've been playing D&D for a little over a year, coming up on a year and a half. Exciting. My character's name is Shotzi. She is an elf. Unfortunately, she's a very clumsy elf when it comes to stairs, but she's also a ranger, so she's happy in the wilderness and stairs, places without stairs. It's great, but yeah. Shotzi's likes her magic. It helps her a lot.
All right, and next up we have Siobhan. Siobhan, why don't you go and tell us a little about yourself, a little about the character you were playing.
Hello, my name's Siobhan. I am playing Virix, who is a changeling monk who has a tragic backstory, as most D&D characters do. She is an orphan, an ex-assassin, trying to find her way through life, trying to be good, but still likes to occasionally give in to those worse impulses, especially when fueled by a certain NPC that our party is friends with.
Indeed. All right, so we've been playing a little bit of let me see now. We were last I remember. Actually, wait, no, what am I doing? I don't do recaps. Y'all do recaps. That's how I know you guys are paying attention. Okay, so who wants to go ahead and give us a recap of what we were doing the last time we got together to play D&D? It has been a couple weeks, so if you need any help, you just let me know.
Well, I do remember one of the last situations was we were going to, because Zill showed up, and we were supposed to go meet up with some pirates, smugglers, because they have a ship, and we're trying to get off this island. I'm thinking that's quite a bit more happened, but that was towards the end there that I can remember.
Indeed. Okay. We are trying to get off the island. That's correct. And I believe that the person that Siobhan was talking about, Zill, had an idea of how you guys could get off the island. Does anyone remember that?
I mean,
Pirate ship.
he wants us to make friends with the pirates so we can get smuggled off.
So you can get what off?
Smuggled off.
Smuggled off. There you go. Yes, there is. He recalls that there is a bit of a cove in here that has a cave rather. That is home to some pirates, and of course, yes, like you said, some smugglers, and perhaps some more. So, all right,
Some less than savory folk.
Less than savory.
Lions and pirates, bears. Oh my!
Right. So, without further ado, we're going to begin with some travel. So we're going to be traveling across the expanse of this island. It means we're going to be making our way through some jungly terrain. So you're going to see the overcast of the canopy begin to get dark as you guys make your way into the foliage that is the jungle of Tidecolor's Retreat. You can hear birds singing and animals moving in the distance. as you guys continue making your way forward, following Zill as he seems to know where he is going. But that doesn't save you from having a possible encounter. In fact, around here, we like to roll for those. So would anyone like to give me a percentile? Now, you do have a guide, so even though you're in the wilds, you have a 25% of chance of an encounter rather than a 50% chance had you not had a guide. So only a 25% chance. Go ahead and roll me a percentile. Whoever would like to do that. Make sure you guys decide who's going to roll, so you guys aren't both rolling at the same time.
I can do it. I'm already pulled up. Is that all right, Siobhan?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You take first, I'll take second, and counter roll, and we can alternate.
And while
that,
you're doing
all right.
that, I'd like to take a moment to remind you that our dice rolls are sponsored by W Energy. Now, W is an energy drink, energy supplement rather. You can add to any beverage. They suggest your favorite beverage. Tonight, I'm enjoying some sweet tea. In fact, adding a little W to it, I find makes it like a little Bellini tea, which is, I don't know if you know about a Bellini tea, but Bellinis are awesome. I'm getting a little low myself, and I just got an email that they're getting low on stock. That means that we're moving some W. Make sure you go ahead and get yours today. Check over at w.gg and find your favorite flavor. Mine, of course, right now is the Coolio Cream. Okay, and in the link in the description below, you can find a promo code Jenkins10. Use that at checkout to earn yourself 10% off. Now then, go ahead and roll that percentile check if you don't mind.
And I got an 8.
8.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was 8 and double aught zeros. I'm like, oh.
Good news, that's a success. But not in a success
Yes.
like, hey, you won something. No, we're going to have an encounter.
Yeah.
Let me get my W mixed up real quick.
All right, dice gods, you got to be nice tonight. Come on.
So we've got some little random encounter tables that I created. Let's go and see which one's going to be best for what we're doing here. So we've got a forest encounter, I believe. We're going to utilize that. Plains. That should be water. That's water. This is okay. All right. Okay, if you would, go ahead and roll for me a 20-sided die, please, and thank you.
Is that for me to roll the 20?
To be honest, at this point, either one will work. Just don't both of you roll, so we end up with 2 results. Because then it makes me have to choose which one we're going to do.
Siobhan, you rolling or am I?
Girl, you're the one who rolled an 8% encounter chance. You roll for which encounter we get.
I think it is on you, indeed.
Me. All right, come on. 11.
All right, 11. Okay, can you roll 4d4 for me, please?
4d4 herd. And we have a total of 13.
Nice. So, as you are traveling through the woods, forest, the jungle even, as I said, you can hear some animals in the distance. And why don't you guys go ahead and roll me a perception check, please?
Perception check.
It's gonna be a 19 for Virix.
It's going to be a 25 for Shotzi.
So as you are listening to the sounds of course, the birds and so forth, the birds start to get quiet. You know, so the birds that were singing a moment ago suddenly stop. And then you hear it. You hear howling. Distant. Yeah, that's a little bit low. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. It's a little better.
Did you hear that, Ferrix?
Oh,
I
I
hear
heard that,
howling.
Foxy. Virix will turn to Zill because he's been on the island before and is a lot more familiar with it, and ask, "What's the wildlife around here like?"
Oh, pardon me. He says, wildlife can vary. I've seen everything from jaguars to wolves, chimera, bear, boar. Many things live on this island in particular. Some think that they're brought from other places. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder what is actually true to the island and what isn't. There's a story that some local smuggler ended up losing a cage and dropped off a bear. There might very well be a bear on the island. Of course, it wasn't intentional. Bear got away from him, or so he says.
A bear. Well, bears don't howl, so that's not that guy, right?
No, definitely wolves. I'm pretty sure those are wolves, love. And from what I hear, they're getting closer. Um, we could either speed up uh, our trek to the cave. We can try to find hiding. We can double back to the village, or I don't know, trees. Trees are always a good idea for wolves, right? Last I knew, wolves don't climb.
But bears do.
That's true. Bears can climb. I wouldn't worry too much about the bear. That's only a story. You know, smugglers and stories. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, the bear's probably actually an ex-wife or something, and they're like, yeah, we just let that thing go on the on the island. That old bear.
I'm sure that bear then has a battle axe, right?
Oh, shit. And a
So
vendetta.
he's listed a few different options you guys could do. Just continue going like nothing normal, everything's fine. You know, maybe the wolves will leave you alone. You guys can increase pace, or you can double back to the village, or maybe get in the trees.
How many of us are actually supposed to be traveling together?
I'm gonna say, because it's just the two of you, it's just the two of you. And
Oh,
so I don't have to worry about Curtis and Vincent in case they don't end up showing up. I know Curtis is working. He's probably getting off work here in the next 30 minutes or so, and he probably get another hour and a half before he gets home. Vincent's busy, but apparently they got someone. I can't remember the exact message, but someone's home warming tonight, so he's being present for that, being all civilized and whatnot.
oh. Okay, so
So it's
it's
probably
just
just going
this
to be.
just a trio. Okay. Well. Okay, so Siobhan, you heard what his
Oh
options
yeah,
here.
I
Should we just
say,
kind of speed up?
yeah. My Virix's vote is that they just pick up the pace,
Yeah.
and I feel like between you, Virix, and Zill, even if we do come across wolves, like, what are they gonna do? Bite us? Ooh, scary.
Mm, mm. Scary wolves. All right, very good. All right, so you guys continue making your way. You guys, of course, increase the pace. So I'd like you to do me a favor. I'm going to need another percentile.
That's all you, Siobhan.
Alrighty. That is going to be a 20.
Oh, you guys are rolling it tonight, aren't you? All right. So it looks like I'm going to need a D20.
All right. A 4.
Oh, well, isn't that something? Can you go ahead and roll me a D8? It appears this island does have everything.
D8. Once again,
I
a
don't like the
4.
way he said that. So
You
it
said
does have everything.
You said a 4?
Yes, sir, a 4.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling, you've increased the pace and you start hearing, go ahead and roll me some perception checks, actually.
Oof. That's going to be an 8 for Virix.
It'd be a 27 for Shotzi.
Shotzi, you hear a familiar sound. You hear what sounds like hooves, heavy hooves, like that of a horse. And you look up to notice that there are actually, you rolled a 4, correct, Siobhan?
Yes, on the D8 roll.
All right, so you see what looks like 4 horses that are getting a drink from a local stream as you guys are making your way past. Um, they seem to be a little bit startled, as because of the wolves and whatnot. So they see you guys and they're spooked, and they begin running. Okay, scattering. Um, we'll say that one actually passes just in front of your guys' path, making its way into the jungle as the other 3 begin to follow it, and they run across in front of your path, making their way out towards the ocean, towards the bay. Perhaps they believe that the coast will provide some sort of assurance for them. Last I knew, horses were taller than wolves, so they can wade water a little bit longer than they can, if that makes any sense. So wolves begin to scatter, running across, making their way towards the coast. As you can hear, wolves still gaining. Zill speaks up and he's like, there's one thing I failed to mention is that wolves tend to be faster than we are in most cases. So have fast trot is it might hold them off for a while, but it's definitely not going to stop it. What would you all like to do? Continue?
Sounds like we need some horses on our side here.
Okay. All right, so you do see the horses. They're running. They're running past you, making their way towards the coast, as I have depicted. How are you going to interact with them? What is your plan?
Well, Shotzi does have Beast Bond, and through some concentration, I can establish a telepathic link with one of those beasts. But it says I have to touch it. It's friendly to me or charmed by me. The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher. And until the spell ends, the link is active while myself and the beast are within line of sight of each other, which a coast beach is pretty open.
Typically,
Go ahead.
something like this would be done through a series of animal handling checks in order for the creature to actually allow you to get close enough to touch it without running away, unless you've actually trapped it somehow or whatever that case may be. In this case, the horses are on the move, so if you would like to give them chase to do that in the end, you are more than welcome to.
Okay. I do also have speak with animals, but Would like to get some input from my partner here, Siobhan. What do you think we should do, girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely follow the horses to the coast because if you can use speak with animals or beast spawn, that would give us a chance to get more allies. And also, if we end up on the coast, that gives us less of a chance to be surrounded because at least one side of us would be covered by like the beach or the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's what the ponies were thinking too. Get to the water.
Okay. So you guys are headed towards the drink.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right.
To the beach.
Just for giggles.
Okay.
As you guys travel, okay, let me go into the perception check. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3.
Perception.
I'm sorry,
Percent.
percentile.
All right.
Oh, it's your turn to roll percentile.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. High number dice. 76.
Eventually, I gotta take my coffee cups back to the kitchen. See a collection of them forming over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a common thing for me. They're all empty. They just need to go back to the kitchen. For some reason I don't quite make it there sometimes. What was your percentile?
76.
All right, so no additional encounter that we're throwing into the mix. Okay. So you guys travel, and before long, you can see the surf as the green exterior or green and darkness of the forest gives way to light, and of course, water. And lots and lots of golden sand. And before you can see, let's go ahead and roll some perception check.
Okay.
Gonna be a 9 for Virix.
Ooh, you're not very perceptive tonight.
Yeah, apparently not.
Shots. I got a 24.
Virix is distracted by Zill in the moonlight, you know.
She's Twitterpated. She's Twitterpated. Oh my god.
Making the gaga eyes.
All right, so you're staring at Zill's butt, apparently, as you guys are traveling, and Shotzi, as you guys approach the coast and so forth, you can see the horses. Oh, and then you notice something else. It appears that the wolves might have beat the horses to the coast. You can see that the 4 horses that you guys saw on the way are now surrounded by like a dozen wolves. I think it was 13.
They're trying. They're trying to steal our rides.
So you see a pack of wolves that have surrounded your potential horse companions. Would you guys like to go ahead and roll initiative?
Oh yeah, I got yeah.
Yeah.
I got things to throw at wolves. Where am I at?
When you're
Oh,
ready,
yeah.
go ahead and report your initiatives to me, please.
I don't remember where it was. I'm sorry.
Oh, I am rolling bad tonight. I got a 7 on initiative.
And I got an 11.
11. Very good. Oh, Jessica.
Yes, sir.
So, not pertaining to the game. Okay. Completely on top of the table. In fact, not even related to the table as we speak right now. Ryan, talking about how you tried to cast that stream. There is a playlist on the table in the tavern. Skyrim Necromancer. It is all the streams that I've done with Skyrim. So he can actually catch that from beginning to end if he wanted to. Each one's about like 3 or 4 hours long, give or take. Um, but have at it. That's I literally created a character, and then instead of creating a new character, and making the regular grind with the game, I decided to just go ahead and use fast leveling and level up my character back to what it was when like I ended the game. So then, because what happens when you finish Skyrim, you're like the most powerful being in the world, and there's nothing to do. All the quests are done. It's just mundane quests. Hey, can you go find the sword in the cave for me, please? Yeah, sure, I guess. I lost a helmet somewhere. Can you go get it for me? Sure, no problem. So much for saving the world anymore. The world is saved. People just need mundane crap out of caves. So I created the character back to the same level that I once was. Okay. And then decided to play the game again. Only this time, instead of slowly making my way to that power level, I started that way. And oh, was it fun. Anyway, what was your initiative orders?
What?
Initiative orders. What is your initiative?
Mine was 11.
11. And what about you, Siobhan? Did you finally break above 10 today?
No. I rolled a 7 for initiative.
No. Okay. So I use a static initiative for most of my bad guys. That means that we will be going on 10. Shotzi, you are at 11, so you go first.
Is Bill participating in this?
Of course, but he will be going on 10 as well.
Okay. So I'm looking at this coastline. I see the 4 horses surrounded by a dozen wolves. They are normal wolves. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, normal-ish wolves. They're not demonic or have syphilis that you could tell or anything like that, or tuberculosis, so they seem like normal wolves. They're not dire wolves either. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I knew them.
Every adventuring party's greatest fear, syphilis wolves.
So I've been watching Peaky Blinders, and everyone has syphilis in that game, or in that movie or show. All right. So, Jessica, what's your plan?
I am. Because, I do not want to hurt the horses. And hard to pick a spell that could be like useful for many, but not harmful to the horses.
Okay.
I'm thinking here, maybe my flaming sphere, since I can move that around. Am I close enough to use my flaming sphere?
Absolutely.
See,
So,
60.
yeah, we'll say that the combat will start off around 90 feet. Okay. And so you can move up 30 feet. It'll be closer, and into combat range for most spells and so forth. At that. So go ahead. You're 90 feet.
Okay, so I would like to move 30 feet, so I am in range to be able to use my flaming sphere. And so I would like to put that to the biggest cluster of wolves that I can.
Okay. Okay. Sure enough. Sure enough. So you build up this flaming sphere. Sure. Let me just go ahead and pull up your character sheet. This does have saves and stuff like that involved with it. Okay. Dexterity save and so forth. You may make a bonus action once that you've created it to move it around. And you can have it run into people or stuff like that, or in this case, wolves. So, Shotzi, I think you have a DC 17. I could be wrong about that. Save. We're pulling it up now.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so you have a DC 15. Say. All right. Okay, and with your, just to make sure we're doing this correctly, are you upcasting your spell or anything like that?
No, it's just second level.
Okay. So you create a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire in an unoccupied space, the ground within range. Okay, so totally within range, all that good stuff. Okay, any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere makes a dexterity save. Okay, all right. As a bonus action, you can move the sphere up to 30 feet, rolling it along the ground. If you move the sphere into a creature's space, which is what you're going to want to do,
Yes,
that
I
creature
am.
makes a save against the sphere, and the sphere stops moving for the turn. So, unoccupied space, and then you can go ahead and move it with a bonus action to basically hit somebody. Okay. So that's going to eat up your bonus action if that's what you want to do.
Yes, because my main goal is to get the wolves, or be the space in between the wolves and the horses using the sphere, but also causing damage to the pack.
So I'm going to go and give you the benefit of hitting. I'm going to say you're able to get that sphere within the range. We'll say 2 wolves. Okay, with your 5 whatever. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 saves against those against your DC 15. And the wolves are going to have a save for the dexterity of a +2. So I rolled a 17 on one die, so he's going to save. And then I got a 6 on the other die, which is going to make that an 8, so that he's going to fail. Okay? So what this means is that you are going to go ahead and roll 2d6. The one that saved is going to take half. The one that failed will take full. Go ahead and roll that 2d6 for me.
3.
3 total.
3 total.
Okay.
I get a 2 and a 1.
So we're going to go with Wolf 1, and he has 3 damage. We're going to go with Wolf 2, and he's going to have 2 damage because we round up. Okay, so I can't make half of 3, but I can, do 2. All right. Now then, is
Like
that going
that.
to end your turn? You've so far done your move action, a bonus action, and cast a spell, which would make your attack action. You do have a free action. That means you can manipulate an item or something of that nature. But if there's nothing else, we're going to move on.
We're going to move on.
All right, we're moving on. Okay. All right. Which brings us to, we'll say, Zill's turn. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'm just going to roll 2 attacks. Looks like one of them's going to hit and one of them's going to miss. These are going to be Eldritch Blasts. I'm going to go ahead and focus on the 2 wolves that you had hit with a spear. So he'll be doubling up on them. All right. So they're each going to take some damage. Well, one's going to take some damage. So that's all right. So one's dead. We're going to say that's wolf number 1. He is down. All right. Wolf number 2 is unscathed by the Eldritch Blast. So you see an Eldritch evocation being shot out from the hand of Zill, and it hits one of the wolves, and he ends up falling over with a yelp. So now I'm going to do the wolves. Okay, and we're also going to do the horses. Okay, I'm not going to roll a whole bunch of die because that is going to take all night long. Okay, what I am going to do is I'm going to say that the wolves nip at the horses. Okay. Okay. The wolves have a attack of a +4. The riding horses have a AC of a 10. So they have a pretty good chance of hitting all these horses. If they do, we're just going to say we're focusing on one horse, okay? And they end up attacking the horse, okay? Gripping it with their jaws and drag it down to the ground. Okay? So they've got one horse down on the ground, and you can see the rest of the wolves are kind of trying to see what the horses are doing from here as the horses begin to try to burst through the line of the horses, making their way towards the coast. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to be fair here. I'm going to roll 3 attacks of opportunity for the wolves. Okay. Now, if we're successful, okay, they're going to get the opportunity to hit. Okay, so that's going to be 1 hit. Looks like that's going to be a miss, and that's going to be a hit. So 1 miss, 2 hits. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll some damage here. It's going to be 2d4 plus 2. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7. So one of the horses is badly damaged and dragged down to the ground. Okay, and then the other one is going to be a total of 4 points of damage. So it's moderately hurt. Okay, actually, I'm going to make 2 DC saves for the horses, actually, because they were both hit. So they have a strength of a +3. So we're going to roll a strength save against the wolves. They need to beat a 12. They both succeed. So neither one of them are actually dragged down to the ground, actually. But you can see they are both being chewed on and clawed at by these wolves. One of them looks really rough. The other one looks moderately injured. Okay. And that is going to bring us to Shotzi.
Mm. Well,
So, Sashi, you can see that one of the wolves is already down because I'm sorry. Did I say Sashi? I meant
yeah, you did.
I meant Varix. Okay.
I was like,
And,
yeah, wait a minute, I just went.
So you can see that from Shotzi and Zill, one of the wolves is already down. And that there are one wolf is dragged down to the ground. One horse has made it safely to the water, while 2 other horses have been intercepted by these wolves, and they're surrounded by them. So you got one wolf that's one horse that's down on the ground, and the wolves are attacking it, and then two horses struggling to keep their feet as another horse flees to the coast. Okay, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. Gonna use Step of the Wind so I can take dash as my bonus action to double my movement speed to 90 feet.
All right.
Nice.
And Virix is gonna like sprint for the wolves attacking those other 2 horses because she sees like the one that's already down and she's like lost cause, you know. Nature is nature, it is what it is. But she wants to try to preserve like at least 3 out of the 4 since there's 3 people traveling. So she's going to take that 90-foot dash for the 2 horses that are trying to get away. And how many like wolves are surrounding those 2 horses?
There's like
Looks like there's 3, but the
Okay.
others are beginning to gather around. So it's currently it's getting ugly.
Oh, it's about to get a whole lot uglier.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't wolves like led by a pack leader and alpha?
That's where I'm getting there, Shotzi. I'm getting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do your thing.
So, out of like the 3 wolves that are targeting those 2 horses, Virix wants to attack whichever one is like the biggest or the gruffest, or whichever one she can like visually like see is like, oh, like that's the alpha, that's like the leader.
Okay.
So
All right,
whichever wolf
you
that
know what
is.
to do here. We're gonna have to use your greatest weakness. You're gonna have to roll a d20,
I can do that.
and I'm
Not
gonna
her
need you to
weakness.
go
Do you want me
ahead.
just to
Sorry.
do a flat d20, or do you want me to
No.
roll a check like survival or nature?
Yes. So I want you to roll a nature check.
It's one of my weakest skills. Come on, come on. It's an 18.
Hey, you broke the curse.
Baby.
All right, so you can see that there is one wolf that seems to stand out from the others. It's more vibrant, and the other wolves seem to be I don't know, taking lead from him. Okay, so yeah, you point out the possible alpha. What would you like to do with that information? We'll say that with your movement of 90 feet, you could totally get to this wolf, no trouble.
Imagine this. You're a wolf, minding your business, hunting.
Just doing wolf stuff.
And
Yeah.
you just see this tiny white and gray blur run up on you. And then I'm gonna take my 2 attacks per action, and I'm gonna go classic monk. I'm gonna go for an unarmed strike.
Okay. Make it so.
Right there, I hear just hinting.
First one to hit 14.
Okay. That will hit.
All right. So damage on first unarmed strike is an 11. So that's 11 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Then I'll take my second attack.
Real quick. That wolf
Yes,
that
sir.
you just hit for 11 points, this is the alpha, right?
Yeah.
Let me give him the benefit of the doubt because he is the alpha. Let me go ahead and give him. Okay, so they only have 11 hit points. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll 2d8. Okay, which is his. Instead of rolling 2d8, I'm going to give him an additional hit die. Okay, and so this is going to be 3d8. Okay, we're going to see how many hit points he actually has. Doesn't appear to be much better, but it is better. Okay, so this is going to be a 12 plus 2, which is going to make it a 14. So he's barely up.
All right. I'm going to roll for my second unarmed strike.
Okay.
Which is an 18. So
That'll hit.
I know that hits. And then that one will do 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and that will fell him. So
Virix
you basically run up and give him a kick in his jaw, as you know he's barking and whatnot, doing wolf stuff, and then just straight up down with the elbow right onto the top of his noggin, and he goes down to the ground. Okay, the wolves closest to him are like, oh. So you did for
a
your
new
close.
player
That
has
means you still
approached the
have one more
field.
attack.
She straight up UFC euthanized that motherfucker.
So if I'm correct, you did a flurry of blows, correct?
No, because I used Step of the Wind for my bonus action, so I could take dash to double
Okay.
my movement speed, but I do get the 2 attacks per action, so I used my bonus action and my 2 attacks.
Okay. And will
And
that end your
there's
turn?
there's not anything I want to do for my free action, so that'll end my turn.
Okay. So one thing that I forgot about doing, okay, because the wolves, started their turn and ended their turn. At least that one wolf did, within the range of your fire. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a dexterity save for him. Okay. That's a ooh, so close. He rolled a 13. Your save is a 15. If he has a +2, which he does, so he just barely saves. So once again, this is going to be half damage. Roll 2d6 for your flaming sphere, please, Shasi.
Okay. 3 again.
What was the total?
3 again.
All right. Well, he did save again, so it's going to be 2 points once more. His fur is a bit singed now. Okay. So this is your turn now, Shotzi. What would you like to do?
I'm trying to visualize how these different groups are set up because I know there's some wolves with the down horse. There's some wolves that are part of the group with the alpha who is now down. Where is my sphere in this setup?
Okay. So there was a group of wolves that had felled a horse. Now the horse wasn't dead yet, but it was struggling to keep with that of the living. And so there's a small group of wolves, like let's say like 5 wolves that are surrounding that particular horse. You and Zill extinguished the life of one of those wolves. So right now your spear is right up the backside of another one of those wolves that is doing his best to shake his tail feathers to keep himself from igniting on fire. Uh, but there is a group of like 5 wolves and a horse within 10 to 15 feet of your sphere. Okay.
Okay.
You could definitely,
I would.
as a bonus action, I know you're a little bit new, so I'm just gonna coach you up a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
The spell you are currently doing is a concentration spell. So
Yes.
you can't cast another concentration spell on top of that. Okay. You can passively do damage to people with that flaming sphere just by having it out there. But you can actively, as a bonus action, attack people with it by moving it into their areas. At the same time, you have a free action, as not free, but you still have an action that means that you can make an attack. And it looks like you get 2 attacks per turn. You do have your longbow, okay? Or you can go ahead and cast another spell, provided it is not a concentration spell.
Well, I would like to move it because I'm sure the wolves are trying to run away from it. Move my sphere in their direction.
Okay, sure. We'll say that you crowd that sphere as nestled as you can in a group of wolves as you can, and I'll say that you're able to get it within range of 2 of the wolves. So I'm going to go ahead and make dexterity saves for both of the wolves versus your DC 15. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is going to be 2d6 while I do this, please. So one does save, and we're going to say it's the same one that's been saving this entire time, just to keep it real. And then we're going to go with another one that fails. else. So go ahead and roll your 2d6. Let's see what you did.
What is this? That is the third time in a row I got a 3.
Okay, so that same one takes 2 points of damage again. Okay, and the next wolf is going to take 3. All right. So that one wolf is not on fire, not exactly, but he's got a lot of singed hair. You guys ever seen The Great Outdoors with John Candy?
Yes.
Okay. So you remember that bear that got shot in the butt and his butt was bare?
Yep.
That's this wolf right now, only also smoldering. Okay. All right. So there's no hair left on his backside, and he is smoldering. Okay.
Again?
But he is staying with it. He's got a hold of that horse, and he's not letting it up. Now then, is that going to end your turn? I doubt it. You have yet to begin.
And you said I could use my longbow as my second action attack.
You can use your longbow as an attack now, and you get 2 attacks per turn.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea because longbow. Okay. So let's see. I would like to target, smoldering wolf guy.
Smoldering wolf guy.
Let's see. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will hit.
Right on.
I would decide your damage on that before attacking him again, because he's pretty close.
10 for damage.
All right, so you do fell that wolf with an arrow as he is put out of his misery, falling to the ground in a heap with a yelp. You still have another attack. Go ahead. You did hurt 2 wolves, so you can go and hit the other one.
I'd like to do that. Okay, let's see. Does an 8 hit?
An 8, unfortunately, is not going to hit.
That's a miss.
Yeah, that's
And
gonna barely miss. Well, but by barely, I mean by 5.
well,
So, will
was
that
nothing.
end your turn?
Yes, that will end my turn.
Okay. All right. So, we're gonna go and give Zil turn real quick. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go into Eldritch Blast. We're gonna try to attack the wolf that you had singed a bit with the fire the last time. It's gonna help you out just by trying to continue hitting. So that's gonna hit, and the next one is going to hit as well. Or I'm not even gonna roll damage. There's no need. Well, okay, sure, why not? Okay, we'll just see. Yeah, he's done. Okay. All right. So you guys have felled 4 of the 13 wolves. That means there's still 9 remaining. Okay.
They haven't ran away yet. What is wrong with them?
That's what I'm getting to. So this is about the time that I'm going to make that determination. We've lost our alpha. A number of us have gone down, dropping like flies, as it were. There's fire, there's arrows, there's eldritch, blasts, and you got this girl out there that is kung fung, hung kung fooey and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and roll to see. Now, I'm just going to make one roll. Okay. This is going to be a wisdom. Okay. Now, what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to roll over a 10. If I do, the wolves are wise enough to know when they've been beaten. If they roll below, they're dumb and hungry. So they're dumb and hungry, and they're going to continue attacking. Okay, I'm going to give the before we do that, I'm going to give our horse that's on the ground an opportunity to try to get back up. He is. So he stands. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and say that he doesn't like being, hit and stuff. He does have a hoof attack. So we're going to go and make that hoof attack now against one of the wolves. That is a natural 20.
That's that horse is the shit.
So I'm going to double the die. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6. That's 9 plus 3. That is 12 points of damage to a wolf that only has 11 hit points. So you see him as he stands, he rears back, throwing his hooves up into the sky and landing them down with ferocity onto the head of a wolf that then collapses in a heap, blood trickling from his skull. I'm going to roll for the other 2 horses that are trying to get away from the wolves. They're surrounded by wolves. I rolled another natural 20.
Nice.
Wow.
Let's go horses.
Now, one of them rolled a natural 20, so I'm going to go and determine that one. Okay. That is a lot of damage. So that's a 4. So I rolled 2d4 with the critical. I rolled 4d4, and so far that's 1 4 that ended up a 4, another 4 that ended up a 4, another 4 that ended up a 4, and this one is a 4. They literally rolled full damage on a critical hit. So yeah, this other wolf's head is pancaked into the sand of the beach. I'm going to go and determine the other horse's damage as we are hoofing another wolf. No way. Oh, barely. Okay, so 4, 7 plus 3. That's 10 points. So that's right at the end of that wolf's life. It's got 1 hit point left. Okay, and then we got the horse that's over in the surf. Like, y'all need to get on out of there. He's not engaging. He's just gonna be like, no, bro, y'all need to get out of there. You know what? I'm gonna roll for courage. Seeing as how the horses are doing pretty good, he charges forward out of the surf and going to attack a wolf. If he misses, it's going to be terrible. But if he hits, it'll be great. He hits just barely. I rolled a total of a 15, and they have an AC of a 14, I believe. 13. So they hit by 1. I'm going to go ahead and determine damage here. We're going to go say, I'm going to say this is that one that was clinging to life. So he just, comes up and clobbers him. All I need to do is do 1 more hit point of damage, and that would have done him in. So we're going to say he's dead. Okay. So we're down 3 more wolves. Okay. And so that remains 6. And it is now the wolves' turn. Okay. I'm going to roll. Remember that thing I said, whether they were dumb or smart or hungry? Okay. They begin to flee. Okay. With that note, we're going to make some attacks of opportunity. Siobhan. So wolves are passing by you, trying to escape into running down the beach to try to escape the party. You are free to make an attack of opportunity as the wolves begin to pass by you. You can only make 1 attack of opportunity, even though there are several wolves passing you.
Alrighty. And this counts as a single attack, not a single action, correct?
This is a single attack. That is correct.
You know, I hate to say it, I'm gonna make an unarmed strike.
I figured.
All right.
Yeah, the little blur.
My boyfriend is bullying me. Have you seen my monk stats? This is a good build, bro.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
knock it off.
26 to hit.
That will hit.
So Virix, like, as these wolves are running by her, she like grabs one by the scruff of its neck, and then she goes to like punch it in the face, and that's gonna be 8 points of bludgeoning damage, just like right to the noggin, right into the little wolf cranium.
Okay. All right. You punch the wolf in the head. Very good. As the wolf recoils but continues running. Now I do have some horses, and they begin fighting back. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to get attack of opportunities for the horses too. Why not? These horses are kicking butt. So
I'm gonna excuse myself briefly to retrieve a snack.
yeah. So they each, end up getting a little bit of clobbering in, damaging the wolves greatly. The wolves are dwindled in number. They ended up hitting the one that Shaban hit, downing it. We'll say they ended up hitting another one, downing it as a team. Just trampling these wolves into the ground. 4 wolves escape off into or begin fleeing off into the surf or down the coast. This is going to bring us to Virix's turn, but she is away right now. Let me let's let her go ahead and get back, and then we'll do that. See if there's anyone on right now. That don't look like.
It's snack time. I found me some gummies. They're delicious. They taste infused. I don't know.
I came back and it's so quiet.
Oh, because it's your turn.
Oh. Okay.
I'm chewing. That's why I was quiet.
Sorry.
You're okay. So the wolves begin to flee. There's only 4 remaining. Okay. Now as they flee, they are about. Let me see. How far can they run? I want to say.
They can't run far enough.
Well, they can run a total of 80 feet. Okay. This turn to try to flee. So that's what they're trying to do right now. Is they are running away from you. So we'll say they're within. Give you the benefit of the doubt because someone did run past you. That they're within 60 feet of you.
I'm sorry, 6 or 60?
60.
All right. I'm just gonna make a sprint for whichever one is closest, like on the tail of the pack.
Okay.
That'll eat up my movement. And I'm gonna make an unarmed strike.
All right, do so.
That's going to be a 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
And that'll be 7 points of bludgeoning damage for my first attack.
You said 7? Very
Yes,
good.
sir. And then I'll make my second unarmed strike attack. Ooh, that is an 8 to hit.
8 total is not going to hit.
That's okay. That's okay. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to bonus action a flurry of blows.
Yeah, you are.
That's going to be a 12 to hit.
12 to hit will not hit.
That's all right. I got one more flurry of blows. I got one more chance. That is going to miss. That was a nat 1 to hit.
Okay. So the wolf, as it's running away from you, is, doing its best with survivability. Okay. As you hit it, it, cringes and dodges underneath your other strikes. If that ends your turn, that brings us to top of initiative with Shotzi. Okay. Shotzi, it is your turn. There are no wolves in the range of your flaming sphere. Okay. You can, of course, move your flaming sphere, but it's not going to be able to hit a wolf in this turn, as the wolves are about, moved 80 feet. And the most that your flaming sphere, I believe, is 30 feet that it can move. Okay. Let me make sure I'm right about that. Yes, you can move it 30 feet per turn, so you're not going to be able to hit the wolves this turn with it. But you do have spells at your disposal, and of course, you have your handy dandy bow.
Yep, that's exactly what I was looking at. So, yeah, I'd like to unconcentrate on my spear and use my longbow, I guess, on the closest wolf I got in my range.
Very good. It'd probably be the wolf that she just struck with for 8 points of damage. And I do believe I hear the sounds of a car pulling up. That sounds a lot like Ninja Monkeys.
Yeah, because his car is loud. The same with his music.
Turns out being here streaming, and I can hear him leaving. And so I'll back up the footage after I'm done to see if I can actually hear it, but I can't. I never can.
Well, cool.
All right, so with your attack,
So it's my attack. Let's see.
needs to be a 13.
Ooh, I believe 25 does hit.
25 will hit.
Hit him all over.
Damage before rolling another attack to hit. See if you kill this guy.
Points damage.
Yes, please.
Right. So, has he been killed?
Give me 1 second. I'm noticing something real quick. I'm going to ask you to say something again in just a moment. But, all right, go ahead.
Right. Oh, you want me to say something?
Okay.
Has he been killed?
You're good. I just noticed that you're. No, you're good. You're good. I was just noticing that on the output capture for my little stream deal that you were awfully high. I'm just going to bring your voice down just not you, just your volume a little bit. Don't need it so high. All right, let me see if I can still hear you there, Jessica.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is it a better range of volume?
Yeah, you're not breaking. Yeah. It was all in red whenever time you spoke, so I just figured I'd bring it down just a little bit. Okay, very good. All right. Please continue.
That gets back to my question. Did that wolf die?
What was the total damage? I apologize.
It was 8.
8. So 8 points will do that wolf in. So you see Siobhan over your shoulder comes an arrow that hits that wolf that eluded your little, we'll say your spinning heel kick. It ducked underneath it, but then an arrow flies underneath your foot and pierces the wolf. You're like, whoa! Hey, Jessica, it is still your turn. Still have another attack. There are 3 more wolves that are running away.
Kind of feeling like I feel a little bad because we just totally wiped out their whole pack. So I might turn my attention towards the horses instead of an attack. Or can I just?
Oh yeah, you don't have to attack.
Yeah, I think I was gonna maybe. What's the word? Pass or hold my action. There.
Okay. So you after seeing the wolves' dismal retreat, you feel a little bit pity for them and lower your bow and begin approaching the horses. Okay, which are a bit scared because everything going on. If you would like, I can get a animal handling check to see if they'll let you approach.
Yeah. Handling. Came up as an 18.
18 total.
Yes.
Okay. The horses still seem a little bit discouraged as they back up, and start making their way towards the water. But they're not like running in fear of you. They're just unsure at this moment. Okay. They do realize you are helping them, but they're just unsure at this moment in time. If that's going to end your turn.
Yes, nothing further more to do.
Okay. Bring me to Zill. Zill sees you lower your bow. Takes and looks at you, Virix, to see if you're going to continue to engage. I'm going to hold my action. Okay. And this brings us to the wolves that are actively running away. Okay. So they continue to move. They are moving 80 feet in the opposite direction of y'all. Virix, this brings us to your turn as the horses are beginning to make their way back into the surf, into the water. Okay. Where they believe they themselves to be safe. Siobhan, are you giving chase to these wolves, or are you going to let them escape?
Virix is gonna let them escape.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my action instead. I wanna skin that alpha wolf that I killed right at the beginning of combat with one of my daggers that I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that wolf's pelt.
Very good. So you begin making your way over to the alpha wolf. So we're not in combat anymore. So no more combat initiatives and so forth. So you don't have to worry about taking turns. But yeah, you can totally make your way over to that wolf and begin skinning it. Go ahead and make me a survival check, please.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, very good. So you pull out, you have like a knife or something.
Mm-hmm. I'll use one of my daggers.
All right. So you pull out one of your daggers and begin cutting the wolf open and pulling out, skinning it, as it were. Are you trying to prepare the meat for consumption by removing the innards so it doesn't spoil the meat, or are you not worried about that?
I'm not worried about the meat. I just want the pelt.
Very good. All right, so you take the time to go ahead and skin the pelt with a 20. You don't have any trouble with this, so you get a decent pelt. Okay, so you have a good a belt of good standard. Okay. It is, of course, without properly tanning and so forth, is just a lump of fur with a a bunch of bloody skin on it. But yeah, for sure, you have a bloody skinned wolf pelt. Zill says, "Well, that could have gone worse." And so, Shotzi, I think this show is yours if you're trying to get buddy with these horses.
Yes, I am.
Are you using any
Hmm.
of your, druid craft to assist you in this? Like you got your speak with animals and stuff like that.
I think speak with animals might be the better option
Okay.
because I don't actually have to be touching the animal.
No. But so by using your speak with animals, okay. Out of curiosity, is there anything in particular you are saying to the horses? They can understand you now.
First of all, I would like to, tell them that we mean them no harm. Obviously, we tried to save them from the wolves, and that we could be friends. I don't know. I haven't really ever talked to a horse that way.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, because you speak with animals, you can roll a new animal handling with advantage.
Okay. They were like that.
Second.
So we go with a 20 for animal handling.
20. Very good. All right. Just so happens that was my DC. So with that, the horses, one of them steps forward. It's a little bit battered, but it steps forward and lowers its head. You hear it say, "Thank you for your assistance in protecting my kin and myself." You see it, hoof the ground a little bit and make a little bit of a bow, okay, down as though to say thank you. Siobhan, you hear. All right.
How was that again, Pat? How was that again?
What was that?
That's what I said. How was that again?
Something like that.
That was great.
All right. So the horse thanks you for the assistance. It's a little battered, little cut up. Like literally, one of them was clinging to life. It has like 1 HP left. So
I was just looking at my cure wounds, actually, to see if I could assist almighty stallion.
Okay. So with your successful animal handling, the horses are not so scared of you. So the one that spoke to you and thanked you, allows you to get closer to it enough to touch it. Go ahead and roll a cure wounds.
Oh, and that is a 13 total to heal the
Okay, so it
wounds.
is fully healed as you watch the lacerations and the teeth marks. The wounds close and the blood becomes dried upon its matted fur. but the wounds do close before your eyes. You can see the horse in astonishment. It's like, well, thank you. It still can talk, of course. Siobhan, you're just hearing.
Casual horse noises. Varix looks at Zill and is like, do you understand what they're saying?
Not a word. I'm pretty sure your friends lost your marbles, but whatever.
They've been gone for a while.
It's just a normal thing, her talking with horses and whatnot. Is she like some kind of horse whisperer?
Genuinely any animal that's friendly enough to walk up to.
Yes,
It's
I
baffling,
suppose.
truly.
It almost looks like that horse is communicating with her in a strange way. It almost looks like she understands it. Almost looks like the horse understands it. I think I'm going crazy too. Okay. So, Shotzi, you're over there with the horses. The horse, after you heal it, it turns to its brethren and is like, "Come, brothers and sisters, allow her to cure your wounds and make you feel better." Yes, it's an English horse. Deal with it.
He's refined.
He's refined. He only drinks water with. I guess he doesn't have a pinky put up, but if he could, he'd be putting a pinky up when he drank his tea. So the other horses begin to one by one get a little bit closer to you. Are you taking the time to cure all their wounds there, Shotzi?
Yes, because I have a hope that they will assist us here in the very near future. So yes, I'd like to get good rapport with the rest of the herd, as well as they probably are injured and hurting. So yes, I'll do that.
3 of the 4 were injured and hurting. That's correct. So it looks like got a few spell slots. You got 2 second level. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 first level. And so the rest are effects from your thing. So you have because you used your. Let me get a refresher page because it'll probably just show me how many spell slots you have. You should have after the speak with animals. Okay. And
yes, speak with animals.
And the cure wounds, you should still have 3 spell slots remaining.
Okay, there's that one.
So it's like cure wounds is a first level spell. It doesn't look like you've been clicking them off, so I'm gonna help you out with that. The flaming spear cost 1. Okay. Then you did your speak with animals. I believe the speak with animals is a first level, right? Yes. So and then you used a cure wounds, which would be another first level. You still have 2 first level spells remaining, and you have a second level spell remaining. Would you like to use your 2 next first level spells to heal the remaining horses?
Would it be better to use like the second level cure wounds, or is it's one animal at a time?
So go ahead and roll me a nature check. And yes, it'll only be one at a time. It is a touch spell, so you have to be able to touch the creature. Okay. And yes, it is only one person at a time. Or
The nature check came up as a 13.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you feel like these horses may have anywhere between 10 to 20 HP, okay, in total, which is a very wide, number. So, uh, but I think that with a cure wounds, good, decent cure wounds, you could heal the wounds that they have without too much trouble.
Oh, do that the first level slot.
Okay, so you're just gonna require 2. Are you gonna go and burn the rest of them? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. In that case, I'm not going to ask you to roll for your healing. Your healing basically has an average, it looks like about 12 to 13 points. And I'm going to be honest, the horses only have 13 hit points in total. So your average would fully heal anyway. Okay.
Nice.
With that, good job, guys. You survived. I had no doubts, of course. Not with a modest encounter as such. And you guys made some new friends. Okay.
Yes,
But
and I'd like to introduce my new friends to my old friends.
okay. How are you going about doing that?
Well, did I gain some of their trust in a big way by curing their wounds? Would
Oh,
they
definitely.
be?
They definitely know you're not here to eat them. You can actually communicate with them
Oh,
because you
yes,
can
that's right.
speak their
Yeah.
language. They're very friendly with you. They realize you're not here to harm them. Yeah, they're your new friends.
I'd like to tell them I would like to introduce you to my friends who also helped get rid of the wolves. So follow me this way, and I will introduce you.
The wolves do follow you.
The wolves? I don't want no wolves. I'd rather have
Sorry,
horses.
the horses. Yeah, the horses do follow you. The wolves are back. They want to make friends. I'm just kidding. So the horses, they follow you. Okay. You approach the rest of the party. Zil and Virix as Virix is finishing up cutting the pelt free from that wolf. Okay. So with that, what are you saying to the party and to the horses? I'm just curious.
Um, well, once we get close enough to them, of course, I see Varix, and I'm like, oh, getting a trophy. And I tell Zill and Varix that I've made new friends, and um, really good friends, and I wanted to introduce them to you guys, and in hopes that maybe they'll assist us further because 4 legs are better than 2.
Okay. Zill's like, yeah, 4 legs are definitely better than 2 in most cases.
And they might help us along our journey a little faster. They know the island. They could be of some use.
The Zill says, You're right, but where we're headed isn't too much further." He looks forward down the coastline. You can see a bit of rocks. He says, "It's just beyond those rocks." So you can see some rocks off in the distance. About 200 feet or so. It's not very far. So you guys are almost there.
Wow.
Island's not gigantic. It's large, but not extremely large.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay. So we're really close. All right. Well, I guess you guys could just say hi bye. You're welcome for saving your hides, and maybe we just continue towards where we're going and say farewell to the horses we saved.
Very good. Zill, kind of leans over towards Varys and kind of whispers, is she suggesting we start talking to the horses now too?
Listen, it might seem crazy, but Shotzi knows what she's doing. And
Fair enough.
upon whispering that back to Zill, Virix does like a very polite, like little half head nod to the horse that Shotzi's talking to. Like a little, very like a subtle, polite bow.
Okay. Zill follows suit with a little bit of a curtsy and just, a little bit of a flourish. Says, well, chip, chip, cheerio, governor, and whatnot.
Look at him and I look back at the horses and he says, it was my pleasure to assist you.
Right.
And on that note, can you guys be a little more careful when you hear the wolves? Like, can you guys are good horses, so kind of try and stay alive.
Yeah, the horses are like, yeah, well, we'll be more careful from the wolves, but I don't think the wolves are going to be troubling us much longer, because you guys just decimated their pack, for sure. But yeah, thank you very much. Blah blah blah, yakety spackety. Is there anything else you want to do with the horses, or are you ready to move on?
I think I'm ready to move on.
Let's get this show on the road.
Yeehaw.
You begin to approach these rocks and cliffs that Zilla mentioned to you. The trail along the northeastern cliffs narrows. I need my glasses. The trail along the northeastern cliffs narrows as the roar of the surf gets louder below. The wind smells of salt and wet stone, and somewhere beneath the crashing waves, a dark mouth opens in the rock face. Just wide enough that at certain tides, the sea must once have poured straight in to this rock face, it appears. A crude rope path and staggered stone steps, half carved and half broken from the cliff, descend toward the opening. Old iron rings hammered into stone show where cargo was once hauled up by pulley. And the faint glow of torchlight flickers from within the cavern. At the entrance stands a pair of rough-looking guards, blades at their hips, posture casual but watchful. Before you can decide what to do, Zill steps forward, with an easy grin, greeting them like old drinking companions. A few exchanges of words, a clasp of forearms, and a quick muttered joke. Later, the guards step aside with a shrug, one of them waving the party. That's you. You're the party.
Yeah, we are the party.
Zill says over his shoulder, friends of mine. He's already walking, you see. He motions you to follow. Try not to look like trouble unless we need it. So you guys follow him in?
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Yeah. So are you guys giving, following Zill into the cavern. Past
Oh,
the
yeah.
guards.
Yeah, I'm a follow in behind Vyrix. You know, just got to check his booty out while we descend.
The passage opens into a vast hollowed cavern, where the echo of waves still lingers, though the sea itself has long been held back. A massive stone break, reinforced with timber beams and patched with old mining scaffolds, seals off the lower tunnels where water once flowed freely, leaving only a narrow controlled channel where smaller craft can slip during in and out during high tide. The walls of the caverns bear the scars of years of mining. Cut terraces, abandoned support beams, and half collapsed dig shafts that now serve as storage dens, hideouts, and living quarters. Wooden platforms and rope bridges connect the clusters of structures carved directly into the rock. A rough vertical village clinging to the cavern walls, lanterns glowing in warm pockets of light against the dark stone. Seems you've arrived. Below the cavern floor bustles at before the cavern floor, sorry. Below, for some reason I couldn't say the word below, I kept on coming out as before. Below the cavern floor bustles with activity. Cargo crates are stacked in uneven towers. You see dice games form in shadowed corners. And arguments, of course, some playful, some very serious. They echo between the stone pillars. At the waterline, two ships rest, anchored with moorings. One bears a black sail marked with a grinning crossbow. Okay. The ship looks patched but proud. Clearly, the vessel of pirates call this place home. The other stands sharper and newer. Its deep crimson sails hanging like a warning banner, even while furled. At the center of the cavern, where the lantern light gathers brightest, stands the heart of the settlement. A sprawling timber and stone cantina built from mismatched ship parts, broken masts, and salvaged hull planks. Music, shouting, and roaring laughter spills from its open doors, drawing nearly everyone in the cave towards it like moths in a flame. Zill glances around, lowering his voice just enough for you to hear. He says, "Welcome to the powder keg." So, um, Zill says, well, if we're looking to get help from the pirates out of here, I suggest we head down there to the cantina. The pirates should be within, and we just need to talk to the captain. Captain Harrow. Harrow Three-Tooth, last I knew. Calls himself Finn. Y'all
Finn.
game? Finn, as in F-E-N. Captain Harlow Three-Tooth Finn. So,
Lovely title.
thank you. You follow Zill into the cantina, of course, right?
Of course.
Yes.
You see someone with a matching a bit of the description of a three-toothed man, wearing a large hat. Gruff, looks like a gruff veteran missing several teeth. He leans back and leaning back into his chair with his boots on the table. You hear him pipe up. Well now, if it isn't Zill, thought the sea had finally swallowed you. Zill turns to him, grinning, with his arms open as to embrace. He says, "It tried. Spat me back out. Said I tasted dishonest. Captain Marrow, always a pleasure." Captain Marrow speaks up. "Pleasure's expensive, which means you're here to cost me something, aren't you? Who are the strays?" Zill gestures to you two with a little bit of a theatrical flair. "Not strays, solutions. These are professionals. Steel when it's needed, subtle when it's wiser. I've seen what they can do, and if this place turns ugly, they're the kind shifts the odds." Captain Merrill looks over you, his eyes narrowing slightly. "Odds are already shifting," he says. "Crimson sails in my harbor. Smugglers growing spines they didn't have last week. Starting to look like an infestation around here." Zill pipes back up. "Exactly what I was thinking. Place like this, you let the rot settle in too long, suddenly the whole beam collapses. My friends here were thinking it might help you. It could help you clear out the rot if you like, but really we're just looking for a ship out of here. Simple trade. They can help you. If you want a little bit of hard muscle, maybe get these crimson blades on out of here, if you like." Turns to you guys, right? So he's asking you guys. You guys want to help the captain remove the crimson blades. Now then,
For
Oh yeah.
a
the
right
Crimson
for
Blades.
on yeah.
Okay.
We don't
That's the ship
like
with
the
the crimson
Crimson
blades.
Blades.
I could take a backstory on the Crimson Blades.
You hear that? No crimson blades, taking root, no takeover. And when the dust settles, you let them walk away with a ship. What do you say? Nothing fancy, just seaworthy. Captain Marrow studies you both, eyeing, looking at you guys very intently, more than Zill now. "A ship's costly, a very costly, thank you. Unless you're right about them being able to turn the tide." He leans forward, lowers his voice a bit. "Tell me something, friends of Zill. If steel gets drawn into this cavern, are you the kind that survives it, or the kind that starts it?" He's asking you guys.
Virix leans into him too. So she's like nose with nose and like looking him at the eye. And Virix says, "I'm the type that ends it without having to draw a blade."
Oh, yeah.
All right then. So you can see Zill leads you through the cantina. This is a part I forgot to read to you guys, just to kind of paint the picture for you. For some reason, I had my notes out of order. I apologize for the inconvenience. Let me just back up just a little bit. As Zill leads the party through the cantina, the noise of the cavern seems to thin around the particular corner of the room where authority quietly gathers. Lantern light hangs low over a long scarred table, and surface gouged by years of knives, tankards, and unfinished arguments. He then turns to you guys and whispers the names of everyone. Okay. He says, seating at the head of the table is Captain Haro, Three-Tooth Fin. You can see a weathered sailor whose grin shows more gaps than enamel. What teeth do remain are stained dark from years of cheap tobacco. And though he raises a mug in casual greeting to passing crew, his eyes never seems to stop measuring the room, as he's been measuring you the entire time. To his right stands a bosun Garrick Coyle, a massive half-orc whose broad shoulders seem almost too large for the bench beside the table. One thick hand rests loosely on the pommel of a heavy, broad blade, but not gripping it. But never straying very far. Okay. Leaning slightly back into her chair is a just a half shadowed by a clinging lantern, sits Myra, Lantern Fingers, Pell, Zill says. As Zill approaches, a few pirates murmur his name, some amused, some wary, and some narrow paths naturally opens through the crowd, leading straight to Captain Finn's table. Zill straightens his coat with theatrical confidence, flashes a quick sideways grin, and steps forward to make the introduction. So I forgot to read that part. I apologize. So with that, I do need some insight checks after all this conversation. Go ahead, please.
Insight.
See what's on the insight check.
That's gonna be a 15 for Virix.
And that's going to be a 26 for Shotzi.
Very good. So you see with the captain, the expression seems welcoming enough to pass for hospitality. But the tension in his jaw suggests he's waiting for something to go wrong. Okay. Bosun Garrett Coyle, his gaze follows the party as you guys approach without blinking. His posture and relaxed way of someone who's fully prepared to start a fight the instant a signal is given. Okay. And then there's Myra. The glow reflects strangely in her pale irises, giving her the unsettling impression of always looking directly at whoever's speaking, even when she appears not to be. So she just has weird pupils. You never really know where she's looking. She looks like she's looking at you, but she may be looking through you, past you, whatever. She has a small notebook that rests near her elbow, untouched for now, though her attention clearly records a far more than ink may ever tell. Around the table, several reef pirates linger nearby, under the pretense of drinking and talking. But their quiet glances towards the crimson-sailed ship visible through the cavern opening make the mood clear. This is not a social gathering. This is a waiting room for trouble. Okay. So then, all that good stuff, blah, 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 yucky smackety. So you get the idea that, whatever she says, well, we've got a bit of an issue, he says. Seems that Captain Marrow speaks up. He says, these Crimson Blades, they rode in just the other night, bringing with them, some smugglers that seemed to save from a storm. Very bad storm the other day. You may remember. You guys recall the storm?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that storm.
Just
Says that during the storm, the smugglers lost their ship. Okay. And these Crimson Blades saved them from going in the drink. The smugglers then told them where they could come, which was to this cave. So they bring the Crimson Blades in there. Okay. Now the Crimson Blades think they own the place. Basically, that's kind of what's going on. He says there's a number of different factions within the cave. We've got some bit of thieves that do some picking from time to time. They take refuge in our cave, but they're not willing to make a budge. Not unless they know they got the numbers. And of course, there's the smugglers. They're already seem like they're in bed with these Crimson Blades already. There's a black market trade. I'm not sure how that's going either, but if we could get some more favor on our side, perhaps we'll have a chance to get these blades after all. There's at least 60 of them. I don't have half that many, he says. But if we can get these thieves on our side, the smugglers, and this black market and all of the muscle they bring, we can stand up to these ruffians. But I've had a hard time trying to get them to see the light. Seems like they're already ready to go. Some of them are already in bed with these Crimson Blades. Wonder if you might be able to help me out there, Sil. What do you say? He looks at you guys as like, so you guys want to go around and talk to some people then? See if we might be able to change their minds.
I'm down for that.
Absolutely.
Seems like the choice to do here.
Okay.
Vyric's personally very strong dislike of the Crimson Blades.
Right. So,
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I said, yeah, I guess
Yes.
I'm against them too. Yeah.
Very good. So, Zil guides you away from the louder pirate tables towards a cluster of hanging curtains, mismatched crates, and low burning candles that give the corners of the cavern the feeling of a traveling bazaar that never quite seemed to leave. just kind of remained in one place. A thin web of rope lines overhead, holding up bundles of satchels and lock chests. Some gently sway despite the still air. Behind a narrow table stacked with ledgers, sealed jars, and velvet-wrapped parcels sits a sharp-eyed older woman wrapped in layered shawls. Her fingers heavy with mismatched rings. Without looking up, she flips a coin across her knuckles with practiced ease. Zil spreads his arms out slightly as he approaches. He says to you guys as you guys approach, making sure to be loud enough for hear as you guys approach. Now if you find folks are looking for things that don't actually exist on official ledges, then allow me to introduce a legend of the trade. Old Greta Greaves. The woman can get you anything you want, no questions asked. And more importantly, she can get you coin for just about anything. Also, no questions asked. He gives you guys a wink, and you see the woman, slowly looks up Well, now, is that Zill's silver tongue I hear wagging again? One of these days, I may pay someone to fetch it for me. That bastard still owes me coin. Investment, Netta, he says. You said it yourself. Fortune faces patience. Any day now, that venture's going to pay off beautifully, and you'll be thanking me, Greta. I'll thank you when my purse thanks me, says Greta. Until then, I'm just pleased you finally walked in with customers instead of excuses. Her gaze looks up to you guys, suddenly sharp and businesslike. So then, what exactly are we buying, selling, or pretending not to know about tonight, ladies? So, what do you want to do?
Auroria.
So this is the black market, essentially. If you hadn't
Yeah.
made that, this is the black market that the pirate captain had told you about. You guys are trying to gain support for the against the Crimson Blades. How would you guys like to approach this?
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm gonna let you take lead on this, girl.
I have an idea.
Okay.
So, Virix sits down across from this lady. She says, "What if I were to tell you your friends aren't who you thought they were?"
That's interesting you say that, because I don't have any friends. I have customers, associates, and people I try to forget about.
Well, then, let me rephrase this. What if I could give you a real insight into the mind of people? I'm role playing. I'm not talking to you. I love you, though. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Cameron thought I was talking to him.
What are you talking about?
I gotta restart my whole cool monologue.
Go ahead.
So she says, "Shut up. Oh my God. This is live streamed. You can't say that I beat you on a live stream." So Virix says, "Well, if not friends, what if I could give you a one-up on a potential competitor? A real insight into their mind, if you will."
She leans in. She says, I'm listening.
I have a very special, very one of a kind, let's say, insight I can offer you. And Virix reaches into her little backpack that she has, and she procures a small vial and kind of like holds it and like flips it around in her fingers. And the inside of it is this misty silver substance. It's very abstract, very ethereal, like when you like fog, right? And she says, "It just so happens that I've heard that there may be some people I'm not too fond of doing business around here. And I think we could mutually benefit if they weren't to be doing business and making friends. And as you said yourself, you have no friends. So I can only see how you would benefit out of this situation." And as Vieric says that, she quits like flipping the vial around and she just sets it on the table, like right in front of her. She gestures to it and she says, "This is a one-of-a-kind insight into the mind and memories of a Crimson Blade member. Anything they would know, you could know. And I can give you this vial, and we could take them down together."
So she leans back. The truth is, I don't particularly care for these Crimson Blades. Peacocks strutting around here. Coin is coin. I've never been foolish enough to pick a side before the wind settles. Still, you are the sort of that start asking for favors, and then asking for shares. And before long, they're calling it their cave instead of ours, you see. And I've got a perfectly good arrangement with the reef pirates already. And I don't fancy renegotiating at knife point. Taps her finger on the table thoughtfully and then gives a smile. Of course, there's always something that can help a person decide where their loyalties fall. She opens a small velvet pouch, places it on the table, and then pours a glittering gemstone into her palm. We'll say it's this little gemstone here. Okay, of course it's red. Up close, you can see it has faint imperfections in the cut and so forth. But Netta continues. The blades came in here carrying a ruby the size of a gull's egg. Rare stone. Beautiful flare. And a beautiful fire in it. I made them a very fair offer. They refused, of course. And I'm not one that likes being told no. She rolls the stone back into the pouch. Now that there's a replica, quartz, dyed and polished, convincing enough for if no one looks too closely. If you bring me the real ruby, slip this one in its place.
I didn't realize you guys were still on when I got here.
Yeah, you're good, man. Glad you're on. I heard you pull up. Bring me the real ruby, slip this one in its place, and I'll make it worth your trouble. She suddenly tilts her head towards a nearby table. There are several scarred, heavy-armed mercenaries sitting in silence. You see that lot? Hard men and women. Best blades on this island. And worth every piece of gold I pay them. Bring me the real ruby, and for a night or two, they'll be fighting on whatever side you need them to be fighting on. She then folds her hands together calmly. So then, are we doing business?
Vieric turns and looks at Zil. She turns and looks at Shotzi. She says, "I think that can be accomplished."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Zil turns to old Greta, Netta, says, well, I think you've got yourself a deal, Netta. And you've got yourself some mercenaries then, says Greta. Provided I get that stone. You can keep your dream stuff or whatever, but I'll give you a fair price for it. Zildin, looking at you guys says,
Dream stuff.
well, you need something to get lifted. Maybe it's time to go talk to those that do lifting. There are some thieves in this cave after all. You guys want to follow him over to go meet some thieves?
Hell yeah. Of course
Yeah,
I want to meet some thieves.
Yeah, we going this crazy route this way. Yep, we're doing it. We're following Zill.
Okay. So catch you up, Curtis. What's going on? Is last time you guys were, playing. You guys were basically marooned on this island and trying to find your way off the island. Zill said he knew a place where you could probably find transport off the island. Of course, it's just a bunch of thieves and pirates and so forth. His type of people. Of course, getting there, apparently there's some crimson blades that have begun to occupy the cave. Pirates don't care for them too much, but they don't have the muscle to get rid of them. They're looking to see they said that they can get you a ship off the island, but first you got to get the crimson blades out of the cave. There's a number of different factions within the cave. Some of them were divided on the issue. Of course, the pirates are all about it, but they're outnumbered. And so the thieves and the black market and the smugglers that are also occupy the cave are, most were caught in between helping the pirates maintain the cave and what will be the easier route, just let the Crimson Blades take over. That way they don't have to worry about fighting. The pirates have done what they could to try to rally these fine folks into helping them, but it seems that it may be a little more difficult than they appear. So they're looking for you guys to see if you guys can turn the tide, maybe. You guys have a little muscle with you. Maybe you could, show them that the pirates are packing, that kind of thing. So that's where we're at, Curtis. They went over and talked to Netta, which was heading up the black market and the cave. And now you guys are headed over to see some thieves. The thieves occupy a shadowed stretch of the tavern where lantern light struggles to reach. Dice roll quietly across the scarred table. Conversations are kept low, and every chair is positioned with a view of the exits. As Zill approaches one of the thieves, a sharp-eyed figure lounging with casual confidence glances up, recognition flickering into a slow smile. They lean towards someone and they whisper something. They then lift their eyebrow and turn their attention up to Zill before turning the attention to the rest of you. You hear him speak. Well now, if it isn't Zill, thought the tides finally swallowed you. And you've brought friends, it seems. He looks over to you guys. Interesting ones too. They lean back in their chair and rest their boots against the table's edge. What can I do for you? Zill says, I'd like you to meet some of my friends. And then turns and lets you guys do the talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zil says, seems that this cave's got a bit of a crimson blades problem. We're here to see if we can help you all sort it out. Jax speaks up. Truth is, reef pirates are outgunned. Might even be out of luck. Crimson blades carry a name that opens doors in sitting circles. And sometimes it's smarter to stand near a rising banner than in front of it. You understand levers now, don't you, Zil? Behind them, you see someone lean over again and whisper in his ear. And then looks up, watching quietly, with a little bit of amusement in their eyes. Chill, Zil, as he hears whatever she had to say. Still, everything is negotiable, of course. They then gesture towards the docks. We've had a tidy arrangement with one of the smugglers. Now he claims cargo went down with the storm. Imagine that. Convenient story, if you tell me. Funny how a man's word starts losing weight the moment bigger swords walk in the room, right? They lean forward, lowering their voice. That bastard owes us dust. Fell dust. Or gold enough to replace it. I don't care which one. You recover what's old. And when the time comes, people will stand with yours. As the conversation begins to settle, the whispering thief meets eyes across the table and meets eyes with Zil and gives a little bit of a knowing wink, almost as if to say, you're welcome. As though the whole reason why that he was dealing with Zil to begin with was because she had whispered some opportunity into the ear. That's basically what's going on there. But there you have it. If you guys convince the smuggler to pay the money that they owe, the thieves will help you. Isn't this all a nice little thing?
Mm. Oh,
I mean, Varix is in.
I thought he was in. I'm just not sure how to talk to thieves very well.
Well, you don't talk to him. You just keep your pockets closed.
So Zil asks you all to, what do you think? You think we can go talk with these smugglers about getting them the money that's owed or the damn dust back for them?
Varix looks at Zil and she says, yeah, we can talk. And if talking doesn't produce any results, we have other methods.
Okay.
that's right. Other
So you guys
methods.
begin making your way out, heading over to go speak with the smugglers, Meanwhile, suddenly this little thief that was whispering in the thief leader's ear pulls up and grabs Zill's elbow, says, it's been a while. You get lost or something? Zill says, well, hey, Sirius. Good to see you again. So who is she? Who do you mean? Zill says. The one traveling with you. Don't pretend you don't know what I mean. Nods and turns towards Virix. You always did pick up strays, but one of them walks closer than the others. Zil turns. They're companions, nothing more. Sirius says. Circles a slow step around behind him, a bit amused. You were never good at spotting it, she says. But I was always excellent at reading people. You know, the girls that fancy you. They always have the same tells. Watchful eyes, listening when you speak, even when they pretend not to. And just a little irritation when someone else stands a little close. Isn't that right? So I'll ask again. Who is she? And what exactly are you two pretending not to be?
Damn.
Did I hear this conversation? Am I standing close enough that I actually heard this conversation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do like the eyebrow, upped eyebrows, like, oh, like somebody's just called him out, and I'm like, oh, let's see how this plays out.
He seems to be like lost for words. He's not really sure what to say. Virix, what about you? Got any words?
Virix does a little laugh, and she's gonna hang on. She's gonna use the changeling powers, and she's gonna metamorphize in front of this woman into a mirror copy of her as Virix like throws an arm around her and laughs and says, I can be whoever I want to be, honey.
Right? Very good. Do as you like. I'm not going to stand in your way. Been some time since we been acquaintances now, hasn't it, Zil? Besides, anyone traveling with Zil clearly knows how to take care of themselves. So you're not my problem. And she makes her way back into the thieves' den.
As she walks away and she's not within earshot anymore, Virix goes back to Virix's face. And she looks at Zil, very deadpan, and she says, Ex of yours?
You can say that, he says. See, there was a time, I've run with a lot of different crowds. I've even run with this Jax. Did some jobs with little old Sirius. And sometimes the nights get a little bit lonely. Nothing serious, of course. We split up, was parted ways a while ago. Said I thought it was mutually beneficial for both of us. Spread our roots and whatnot. And, you know how it is.
Virix, she kind of laughs, and it's not a malicious laugh. It's like a genuine laugh, and she says, I mean, I wouldn't, actually, as you so well know. But if you say it's in the past, it's in the past.
like dust in the wind. I assure you, there's nothing there. Just a couple of cold nights. That's all. So about those smugglers. So you guys end up continuing your way, making your way to another part of the cavern. You see different crates and so forth, strewn about. And then you hear a voice pop up. Well, now, Zill doesn't walk into a room unless something of value is about to change hands. Tell me, are you here to buy, threaten, or convince? You hear someone else pipe up a little bit dryly. Because we've already got one group promising protection. Protection tends to get expensive when you start collecting it twice, you see. They pause as they then see you guys all traveling with Zill and just kind of look all over you, look you up and down. Let me guess. Zill says, Darren Voss, pleasure to meet you. Or pleasure to finally grace your presence once again. Let me guess, Zill. You're about to tell us that we're standing on the wrong side of things, aren't you? That everyone says that right before the knives come out. You know that? Go on then. Make your case. Why should we bet against the Crimson Blades when they're the ones picking us up out of wreckage after the storm? Anyone else? Or just you guys want Zill to just kind of do the thing and stuff?
Well, Zill seems to know everybody in this
Yeah,
dang
yeah.
cavern.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
just-
getting a lot of interesting Zill backstory here.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'd like to introduce you to some of my friends. If you will, this is Virix, Shotzi, and Ethos. Good friends, strong backs, quite good in the fight. And as long as they're fighting on the Reef Pirate sides, they're bound to win.
we are the untamed few.
Let's skip the dance. You want us back in the Reef Pirates when the knives come out. Problem is, we're in a bit of a bind, you see. The thieves seem to want some kind of payment for lost cargo or whatnot. And we intended to give it, of course. Trouble is, cargo meant to pay that debt was taken by the Crimson Blades. And, after the storm and whatnot. So here we are. Rock meet hard place. You want our support. Get us our stolen cargo back. Do that, and we'll square our debt with the Thieves Guild, with the thieves, and stand with you when the time comes. What do you say? You hear someone else point up, and don't mistake this for charity. We're not rolling over for you, Zill. And if you don't get the backing you need, you can do this without us. And you hear Darren, I can speak for myself. And the other one just kind of fades to the back. Besides, I hear things. Tidbits here and there. Whereas you've been making promises all across this island. Pirates, thieves, netters people. Everyone hearing the same sweet pitch about standing together against the Blades. Isn't that sweet? So give me one reason why I shouldn't walk across this cave right now and tell the blades exactly what you're up to. Anyone?
You have to get this stuff.
Virix, I'm gonna play a risky hand here. I'm gonna admit it. Virix is gonna step forward. She says, because he has the backing of the Black Hand. Why are you laughing? Don't laugh. No, I don't like it when you laugh. It's scary.
Where's smiling DM?
The backing of the Black Hand. And what good is that in this cave? Black Hand ain't welcome here. You still running with that lot? Well, she does speak the truth. I am with the hand still. And yes, I might be able to pull in some favors here and there. Oh yeah? Yeah. How are you gonna do that? Looks like you're trying to get a ship off of this island. How exactly are you trying to get word to the Black Hand if you can't even get off the island? Remember that rock and a hard place I talked about? That's you, Zil. That's you. Look, you bring us our cargo, and not only do you get our support, I'll arrange a meeting with you and the Blades commander myself. He's a big fellow, ugly, ugly as a shipwreck itself, but ugly can be beautiful, you see. When when it's standing behind you in a fight, that is. So what's it going to be? Talk or action? And I think that's probably a good place for us to stop this week. It's a little after 11 o'clock, but I don't want to just cut this all short and stuff like that. But that is, it's kind of what I had prepared for you guys, kind of laying out this whole deal.
Pat, I just got to applaud you.
What's that?
You were
Claps
totally
for the
just talking. Yes.
Claps for the DM.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But you guys have a lot to think about between this week and coming up next week. Okay, as far as what you guys are gonna want to do. So you got 3 different factions all asking for favors. Otherwise they're not gonna help you.
It's like we gotta get a gem, we gotta get lost cargo, and what else we gotta do?
Okay, I need like a recap because there was like a lot of introduction to like factions and names.
No problem.
So
I got you. So
there's
the pirates
Netta.
need muscle. Okay. They need help with turning. They've only got about half the manpower that the Crimson Blades do. Okay. And they don't really feel like they stand a great opportunity because they have better weapons and so forth. They're a little more organized. And of course, the thieves, they're not going to stand with them in the fight because they know that they're outmatched. Greta seems to be, I don't really care as long as, I'm making good money. Then I can see where the reef pirates could help me, but, at the same time, whatever. So you get Greta a gem. I've talked about how the Crimson Blades, they always had some sort of insignia with them. Some have had a tassel that would hang from their sword. Some had just a band around the blade of the sword itself that was red. And some had a ruby on the pommel of their sword. Sounds almost like that's what they're after. It's one of those rubies on the pommel of the sword. Okay? And they want you to basically switch that with this quartz thing, whatever. Get it for them however you can. Okay. The smugglers, they're willing to help you guys out, but they've got their own problems with the Crimson Blades, as everyone thinks they're in bed with them, of course. But meanwhile, the Crimson Blades are, they've got their cargo and calling it theirs. So what the thieves want, prepayment for, this cargo, well, they can't really pay them because all their money is wrapped up with the Crimson Blades right now. They've got nothing, everything is pretty much locked up. They're broke. Crimson Blades essentially think that they're running everything, all that good stuff. Meanwhile, the thieves want repayment for the lost cargo from, that the smugglers lost. They were supposed to, bring them. They got paid to bring them this Veldust that never made it. Perhaps because of the storm. Got lost at sea. There are a lot of different ways that you guys can handle this. And that's completely up to you guys. Okay. And then, of course, there's the ex-girlfriend issue with Zil. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. And you and Zil seem to have talked it out, and doesn't seem to be an issue for you guys either. So that might not be an issue at all.
Listen, I've only got an issue if she's got an issue. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough. Let's see something. Talked about story for Zil.
Where the monkey is.
Just 1 second. I got this thing, but it appears I did not get it fully prepared. We can play with it next week. I got some other stuff to get prepared for you guys, but that's all other party stuff. Oh yeah, okay. So you guys are contemplating what to do about all this stuff, whatnot, when you guys see Sirius or Ceres. She leans against a support beam covered with from old driftwood, watching the movement of the cave while you guys kind of approach. So I see that you're still alive, so I lost that bet. So Zil says, you always did underestimate my survival instincts. Serious. She gives a glance, says, no, I always estimated them imperfectly, she says. I just assumed one day they'd run out. In a short silence, Sirius continues, You look the same, a little more trouble in the eyes, maybe, but that suits you. Zil says, trouble seems to follow me. Sirius says, no, you invite it, always did. She then folds her arms, studying him a bit longer. Says, I've heard whispers, about things you started dealing with. The shadows you decided were worth listening to. That wasn't the road I was walking, Zil, you know that. Zil says, I know. That's why our paths split. Yeah, they do. Doesn't mean I didn't watch where yours went for a while, of course. She pushes off the beam and steps a little bit closer. Still, you haven't gotten yourself killed yet, and you brought interesting company. That counts for something, of course. And for the record, I never regretted the convenient parts. She then turns and begins walking away. Says, tries not to start any wars before I decide which side is paying better. That was something I left redacted. I didn't add that to all the stuff. It was stuff I kind of had prepared, but I wasn't sure, if all that was really necessary with the conversations and stuff like that. I wasn't sure it would take too much away from the story, but so I didn't add it to my notes, but it's there. Little backstory about why they split up and all that good stuff. Whatever.
I can't believe you would think that we didn't want to know that. I always want to know everything.
Fair enough. That was intended to be an extended conversation between Zil and Sirius before her attention turned to you and was like, so who is she? That kind of thing. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. So there was some dialogue in case things got heated.
Yeah, like a fireball.
Right. Her calling you guys all strays and so forth. Easy now, little shadow. No need to sharpen those eyes at me. I'm not here to be a problem for you. And don't take it the wrong way. Around here, or when this is the rebuttal to the whole strays thing. Don't take it the wrong way. Around here, that's practically a compliment. It means you survived long enough without a leash to become something dangerous. And oh yeah,
that's such a good line of dialogue.
Yeah. Because, we really all are 5 strays. And we end up on the top.
We're not pets. We can't be controlled by a leash.
We're the untamed few. Like, that's very fitting. Right.
So I'm going to be honest, guys. A lot of the stuff that I prepare for conversation depends on you extending the conversation. But when the conversation starts and you guys really don't have anything to add to the conversation kind of ends, And so I do try to throw in little tidbits, insights, and stuff like that. But I do prepare the conversations with more dialogue, more things. But it's only so much is given out freely, and I have I'm not saying that I have things that I hold back, but I have things in case you say this, and in case that happens, and in case whatever. There's just different options. Basically, think of it this way: I create 3 options for just about everything I do. Okay,
good, the bad, and ugly.
1. What's that?
I said the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, very close. So you got basically the status quo, okay? Just the way things would end up on an even keel. Call that the good, okay? Then you got the bad, okay? What if we have, okay, so there's the even keel, there's really good, and then there's really bad. So you guys could persuade them to be more helpful, very good, or you could deter them from helping you at all, and it turns out bad. Or
Right.
everything stays on the even keel and everything's fine. If that makes any sense. So, and just about everything, every adventure I make is the same way. Three different options. All the different adventures. 3 different options: good, bad, ugly. I like that. I never thought of calling it that, but yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Okay. Hopefully, I can get you guys back on next week. Okay. And we'll continue off where we left off. By all means, you guys feel free to continue conversing amongst yourselves as far as, brainstorming and so forth about what you guys want to do. And of course, you guys do have a chat group for, the table and stuff like that. You guys can always be conversing back and forth about what you guys want to do. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go and end the stream here, but I want to go ahead and make a couple points before we do. No one really watching right now, but still, the stream is powered by W Energy. Go in the description below, find the link, and use the promo code to earn yourself 10% at checkout. And a couple other links for different associates, like one link at a time and start playing. Blah blah blah, all on the stream below. Okay. But other than that, say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Gracie gets mad if I don't say this because I say it. I've been saying it for years now. But be kind to everyone. We're all in this together.
Absolutely.